Viewer discretion advised.
What's going on, everybody? Daniel here, and welcome to my spoiler review for Blade Runner 2049. Again, I repeat, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. If you have not seen Blade Runner 2049, well then I'm going to ruin your day. Go to the theater, get yourself a large popcorn, get yourself a soda, support the movie theater, give them your money, come back home to your apartment or to your van down by the river and put on my video, and then you can come back and we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about Blade Runner 2049, viewer discretion advised. There's going to be some language, so if you are under the age of 5 or if you're a pussy, then you probably shouldn't be watching this. So this is for the real people who with the real shit who want to talk about this film. So, Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford, Jared Leto, the guy who played the Joker, the guy... you do not know what fear is. You will learn. Jesus Christ. Jared Leto, man. Wow. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into Jared Leto, who's absolutely really good in this film. He's really good in this film, and I want more of him, but, 10 minutes of screen... I don't even know if it's 10 minutes of screen time. It's really 10 minutes of him doing... because he's blind, and then he barely talks, very little, like, oh, sweet angel, angel's creation, and it's just like, dude, you're reading off the back of a fortune cookie. Come on here, man. So it's directed by Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name. He directed Sicario and Arrival. That's all that you really need to know. I've never seen the first Blade Runner, and I really don't want to see the first Blade Runner because it looks boring as shit. I know what boring is because my favorite film is Godfather Part 2, so I know what boring is. But let me tell you, Blade Runner, robots, they get emotions. They rebel. And Harrison Ford falls in love with one of the replicants named Rachel. Boom! There's Blade Runner. There you go. Now on to 2049. Let's talk about the real shit here. Like I said in my quick review, my movie quick review, and we're going to get into the opening and all this stuff, so sit down and get comfy. First off, I just don't understand. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. The things that I love and that I really that makes this film almost near a masterpiece: cinematography, the sound effects, the practical effects, the CGI effects, the acting, the casting. That is what makes this movie damn near a masterpiece. The cinematography, the shots, the opening shots, the action shots. Slow camera walking shots. Everything is beautiful. Even though it's a messed up freaking world in this film, everything is beautiful. That is amazing. That the mythology and the lore, where you could just dive deep into this Blade Runner universe. Even for a person who hasn't seen the first Blade Runner, you kind of understand this universe. And one of the most intense things with the sound is when Ryan Gosling is getting, he's getting tested, and within cells, within cells. Would you eat the peanut butter? Cells. Would you woodchuck if a woodchuck whatever? Cells. Yeah, anything. That's all you gotta do. Cells. Within cells. Oh shit, this is easy, Tom, come on. Within cells. In dissect, whatever. Okay, we good? Thank you. Alright, appreciate it. It's very easy, honestly. Gosh. That was some of the most intense things in theater, is it being loud in your ears. And I love that. Ryan Gosling's a badass. He looks cool. From the opening scene, Dave Bautista, you're kind of like in this Fallout universe with the uniform he's in, the radioactive, and you have to get cleaned out and get out of the suit. Dave Bautista comes in, he looks really old, he's a replicant, he's an aging one, and he just kind of... We'll get back to that, but I always jump around every now and then. What I love about this is basically the moral of the story, is at least what I take out of it, is Ryan Gosling's character Joe, the average Joe, K, serial numbers. Joe, which doesn't fit him at all, by the way. He did not look like a Joe. What I see is he, within the movie, he starts to think that he's special, that he's human, that he has a purpose. And then just to find out that he ain't shit. He's just a clone. That's all. And in reality, we think we could do this, we think we could do that. Oh, I could ask that girl out at school. Oh, I could make and win the basketball game for my team. Oh, I could hide this body and put it in the lake. And at the end of your life, and you sit down, you're thinking, I wasn't nobody special. I really wasn't. I was just another person. There's nothing special about it. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not special. Well, besides he's a robot. But you get the moral that you're not special. You're not the chosen one, Well, except Jesus was, but that was back in the day. What about now? Oh, you can play guitar? Wow, you're very special, little Timmy. Wow, that guy can't play guitar. Oh, wait, he already does. And he's been playing 20 years before you. So you're not that special, and that's the thing. I think we're getting off territory with the film, but you tell your kids you're special, you can do it. But in reality, yeah, you're gonna flunk this test. You're gonna suck horribly, my friend. My God, wow, can't believe we actually had you. Stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, with Blade Runner, Kay's not special. He's just the average Joe. And that's what I love about this. He's kind of like Pauly Shore. There's nothing special about him, Pauly Shore, he's at a coffee restaurant and you're just, it's the Wizzo. Oh shit, it's Wiz in the juice. Oh, ooh, the Wizzo. It's basically all he ain't nothing special. So basically, I'm comparing Ryan Gosling to Pauly Shore in the film, his character. Either way, I've gone on long enough and off track. The opening scene, it's quiet and necessary quiet. You see, it's a very long movie, but there are times when it is necessary for it to be slow, building up. But after a while, it really just gets. Well, honestly, I would never say that the film got boring. I never got bored where I was like, oh my God, I want to walk out. Like, I didn't get bored like that. It was just really slow where at the end of the film, you get up and you say to yourself, well, that scene really wasn't needed. Well, and you kind of nitpick. That scene wasn't needed. I mean, we just watched 2 hours, nearly 3 hours of a film. Ryan Gosling dies, great, because 10 minutes of him was just walking around, and he's dead now. Harrison Ford is in the film for a good chunk, and he barely feels like he's in the film for 5 minutes. Jared Leto was worthless, even though his character was really interesting and you want to see more of him. Let's be honest, he was a worthless character. Yeah, there for story and stuff, but what did he do? I thought he was going to be some badass villain or something, all misguided. And he's just, he's a bad guy, but So are you saving him for Blade Runner 3? Are you going to continue the story? I mean, this could finish Blade Runner. You do not have to continue Blade Runner if you don't want to. I know they're talking about a sequel, but come on, make this movie a point A to point B first. And I feel like we got from point A kind of to point B, but now there's a whole point C thing going on because nothing really got resolved. The big thing to take out of it is Ryan Gosling's not special. He's not the child of Deckard. He dies. And then Deckard finds his daughter. Boom. 2049. There you go. And between that, there's just a bunch of walking slowly. Jared Leto's assistant is the one doing all the work. Where is he? And Robin Wright, the glass in her hand. And she was intense. Both Robin Wright and the assistant of Jared Leto were both really intense. And two of my favorite scenes out of this whole entire film is when Sean Young's character, Rachel, all CGI and everything now, she comes out. I mean, they had to recreate her, make her look the same again. Sean Young looked very beautiful. I remember her in Stripes with Bill Murray. What type of training? Army training, sir. Anyway, I could quote Stripes for days. For fucking days. Anyway, first off, I can understand why Harrison Ford fell in love with Sean Young. I would fall in love with Sean Young if she walked through the door and was like, oh my gosh, come on now, let's go. But where am I getting at? The whole part, and then her eyes were green, the Harrison Ford, her eyes were green, you gotta do the Harrison Ford face. I bet you when Jared Leto touched him, when he grabbed him with, I've wanted to meet you for a long time. What are you doing, kid? This is a movie. Stop taking it all serious. Do you know who I am? I'm Harrison Ford. I was making movies before you were born. I used to be number one. I used to be somebody. You touching me with your 30 seconds to Linkin Park looking ass. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel Harrison Ford would probably be. Which is awesome. Hey, Harrison, can I get a photo? A photo? Do you know who I am? It would just be the same shit over and over. Anyway. Man. Edward James Olmos comes out. He's trying to just get through to these kids. He's just there, and just for very small, like a minute, and that's it. And it's like, okay, whatever, right? Like, don't go tell Deckard that Edward James Olmos is still out there. Why not, right? It's a beautiful film with the cinematography, and even I really enjoyed the whole Ryan Gosling and his hologram girlfriend, his AI girlfriend. I enjoyed that as well. I thought it was genius the way that was actually done, especially the threesome. Mackenzie Davis, you have an actual replicant or real person and an AI having sex with Ryan Gosling. So in reality, it's kind of the weirdest threesome you've ever seen, which respect to the way they filmed that. Although they could have shortened it down because it took a really, like, we get it. Oh, like, I'm touching you, but I'm not really touching you because I get it. Okay, fucking hurry up. Let's go. Come on. I don't see no titty. Let's go. If you're not going to show no titty, move to the next scene then. Do not waste my time. Come on. There's just a lot of unnecessary slowness where it's like, we get it. I get it for the point of the film, but when you reach the end of the film and you're like, wow, you could have done that within 2 hours instead of doing 2 hours and 43 minutes. Really, you could have done this whole story within a 2-hour limit. I'm just saying. I think it will add to the film if they cut it like down to 2 hours and 10 minutes. Now, my second favorite part, and again, Harrison Ford's emotions when she comes out and he sees her walking again. That was intense. That was great. And then my favorite part probably, I was thinking earlier, and now I don't even know when it was. I know it's the Harrison Ford and Sean Young part. And then I don't even remember what my second, I think I only had one favorite scene. Like, that's my favorite scene out of the whole film. Oh, and then the action scene between Ryan Gosling, he's fighting the girl, and he's getting stabbed, he's getting shot, and he just keeps on coming. You think he's dead. Poor Deckard, when he saw the girl coming back to the boat, or not the boat, the car when it was in water, which that was a great set piece, by the way. Absolutely incredible. I bet he was like, oh shit, Joe's dead. Joe! And then Joe comes out of nowhere and just strangles the living life out of this replicant. She's just like, it just reminds me of Bart Simpson. And she's just like choking. And then he just puts her down underwater. Poor thing is just like, slowly but surely, she gets her freedom. I don't know if I was the only one that saw that in a sense, but she kind of got her freedom. She's free now. Instead of Jared Leto always being like, you do what I say, I'm Jared Leto, I'm blind, I'm the master, you do what I say. But I can only make so many. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she was brainwashed and molded to become this person when she didn't want to be that person. She didn't have to be, honestly. She should have just not have been that person. Ran away. But, with her being free and gone, I think that was at least that's what I got out of it, that she was gone and that she was set free by Kay. And the thing as well in the story with Joe, Kay, Ryan Gosling, is he died for the cause at the end, in a sense where he got Deckard to his daughter. He showed that he still had even though he's not human, that he has a human side element to him. He has humanity. He knows what humanity is. And he could have just, I don't know, been a replicant and could have killed, could have this or that, or could have not have saved Harrison Ford, but he did. And saved them in a sense of faking their deaths, and then taking them to his daughter, where they will plan an uprising against Wallace and this and that. So I can't really remember the whole end of the first act, second act bit, because all I remember fully, I'll say how the film I see it, and it'll come back to me, but the opening scene, Dave Bautista versus Ryan Gosling, he kills Dave Bautista, really intense. He goes back to his home, he goes to the police station, blah, 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 does the cells, within cells, talks, it's like 40 minutes of talking to it feels like 40 minutes of him talking to his AI hologram girlfriend. She ends up glitching and everything. Yada, 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 yada. He heads over. Morgan from The Walking Dead, Lenny James is there. He has a bunch of kid slaves and everything. Yada, yada, yada. Fast forward. He finds Harrison Ford. A lot of walking, a lot of talking. That fight between him and Harrison Ford was not necessary. I like the whole Elvis bit, but let's be honest. With him fighting Harrison Ford getting flipped over, it's like, wow, that's stunt double. That's stunt double work, though. I mean, come on. Han Solo didn't even flip or anything in the new Star Wars. Like, you didn't have to have Deckard, like, flip over for a couch or stuff. It just ruins the illusion, because you're like, that's a stunt man. Anyway, I'd be so really shocked. I would pay you $10 if that was actually Harrison Ford doing the stunt. Probably not. You want me to do what? Do you know who I am? That did not sound any bit like Harrison Ford right there. Ryan Gosling. That doesn't even sound like... this is a horror... See, I could do, the past movies, Bill Skarsgård or Javier Bardem, I'm trying to bring life back into the house. Or Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise, How was I good enough for you, Georgie? I already messed up there. I'm not real enough. I'm not real enough for you, Billy. It was real enough for Georgie. I can't do it right now either, honestly. You know what? Fuck it. I've kind of really talked about all the stuff that I enjoyed, and I think, again, the main concern about this film is Jared Leto wasn't shown enough. He had an interesting character. It really wasn't paid off that well. It is slow. It has a lot of scenes that could be shortened or cut out. And then you're going to have the people defending it. Again, I've said this before. You're going to have people defending it. You just don't understand how a film works. Blah, 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 blah. And, like, why are you defending it? Are they paying you to defend it? I mean, just because I say, hey, it's slow, am I wrong? Are you really saying that it's not slow? Because it is slow. It's very slow. And yeah, you kind of know going into this film that the first one was really slow, so this one's going to be really slow. That's why I didn't want to see the first one. Because, I don't know, Harrison Ford at that time just looked like, damn, that's not young Harrison Ford, because that's 80s Harrison Ford, so it's like, yeah, no, I'll pass on this one, honestly. He just looks like he looks older in Blade Runner than he looks now. So with that, I'm going to kind of give you my pros and cons and tell you what my pros. Sound effects, cinematography, the opening, the acting, the set design, the world, the cars, the weapons, the look, Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford, Jared Leto's assistant, the casting, and then with the cons, Jared Leto barely in there. It's long and unnecessary slow scenes. But personally, and Lenny James was with the kids, he kind of added a little comedy to it, and I didn't burst out laughing in this film, nor do I think I maybe one chuckle and that was it. But overall, it's a depressing film. There's really not, like, you don't really smile in this film at all. Maybe with a little Ryan Gosling here and there with the AI, but really you do not smile in this film whatsoever. It's a very bleak, kind of depressing film. As well with the girl who played the AI, Joy or whatever, Ryan Gosling's girlfriend, she was really good. She was really good in here. So I don't know if there's anything really much else to say about Blade Runner 2049, and I think people who are sci-fi lovers, people who enjoy the first Blade Runner, Ryan Gosling fans, Harrison Ford fans, people who love the sci-fi elements, then you're going to really, really enjoy this film. And for people who are just kind of like average moviegoers, or, you know, who have no clue what Blade Runner 2049 is, probably this is, as long as you know you're getting into a 3-hour film, and your 3-hour film, and there's going to be a lot of slow talking, a lot of slowness and this and that, and you're fine with that, then go ahead. But it's kind of like, for me, it's a really good film. I don't think it's great. I think it has great elements, but it's not a great film itself. And I've kind of repeat myself over and over, but that's about it for me for Blade Runner 2049. I think Deckard is going to kind of be with his daughter, and either he could live a peaceful life with his daughter, or he could end up and going to stop Wallace. But then again, Wallace now thinks that they're dead, that Deckard and Joe are dead, so there's kind of really no feeling there. And then again, Ryan Gosling never really met Wallace, so that's kind of an interesting take there. Very interesting, a lot of this stuff. Very interesting if there's ever going to be a sequel to this. It kind of failed at the box office, so my bet's on no Blade Runner 3. And that's fine if there's not, because I can accept that, where this film is, if it's to end the Blade Runner franchise, Deckard's with his daughter, that's all that matters at the end of it, where he's reunited and he can either live a peaceful life, kind of closure there. He no longer has to hide in the sense of living where he lived. He could be with his daughter there, and I think that'd be just a perfect life for as long as yada 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 bullshit whatever, you know. I have nothing really else. All I'll say is it was better than Transformers The Last Night. Way better. It's one of the best films out of the year. And for sure, it'll end up on my honorable mention, and possibly, very, very slim, but possibly could end up on my top 10. But for sure, it'll be on my honorable mentions. And I do plan on picking this up on Blu-ray. I want to know, what do you guys think about Blade Runner 2049? What did you like and what didn't you like? I just want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think this film was total shit? Do you think this film is the best film out of the year? My friend at work thinks this is the best film out of the year, and I respect that opinion, because if you say that this is a masterpiece, I can see where you're coming from, but just story-wise, I feel like it's just a bumpy road where this is not a film that I could see every night. Like, I'm not going to own it. When I own it on Blu-ray, I'm not going to play it like every single day and be like, wow. Like, there are going to be some scenes, or the reason I don't want to see it in theaters again is because I have to sit through that scene. I have to sit through that scene. I don't want to sit through that scene again. Come on. And every film has that. Every single film has that. But then again, I don't want to sit through a 3-hour film again. So I have a valid excuse for not wanting to see it in the theater again. Like, if my friend said, hey man, you want to go see Blade Runner 2049? I really have to be in a good mood or great mood to go see another 3-hour film. So I'd be like, nah, I'll pass. I already saw it. Ryan Gosling dies. Harrison Ford finds his daughter. Boom, 2049. You could have done that within 2 hours. Come on. It didn't have to be 2 hours. I know it's always, and I always say this in my spoiler review, I know it sounds like I'm just shitting on the film. I'm not, because I did say a lot of great things about this film. Either way, I want to say it's better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, though. It really is. It's just the mood of it, the tone of it, the color of it, that's all great. So it's a beautiful film without it being a beautiful world. It's an interesting world. And in a world I really was entertained with. So that's about it from me. In my quick movie review, I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10, which equals a B+, which I think is just a right in the middle fare for Blade Runner 2049. And it's sad that it didn't make. I think it only made like $30-something million, and its budget is 150 to 108. That is a flop. That is a hard flop. I expected it to at least make 50 to 60 million at least. At least 50 to 60 million. So, if you know, the people who watch this, you've already seen the film, but tell your friends, and if you enjoyed it as well, tell your friends to see this, because it is worth watching in the theaters and in IMAX. Like, it's a lot of people spend their money on shit films, and this is a film that is not shit. This is a actual quality film, like Dunkirk, and this was better than Dunkirk in my opinion. I want to see Tom Hardy in a Blade Runner film. I really think Tom Hardy could have been. How awesome would that be if Tom Hardy was Ryan Gosling's character? Oh my gosh, that would have been really cool. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I entertained you guys long enough. And I'll see you for more spoiler reviews, kind of every Thursday morning or so over the weeks, and new film releases. If I'm lucky enough to get to see them early, I will report back to you guys and give you my honest thoughts on them. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed, like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. All the goodies. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you. Again, I gotta appreciate you. I love y'all. Blade Runner 2049. Tell a friend to go see it, because it is really awesome. Even though it's slow, really slow, and Jared Leto's character is kind of pointless, and there's a few pointless things in the film when you could wrap it up in 2 hours. It's still a hell of an entertaining ride overall, and it's better than Alien Covenant. So yeah, and I like Alien Covenant, so yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Appreciate you. Till next time. Bye-bye.